Our guest today is Revathi. She is an environmentalist and ecological farmer, championing the cause of organic farming in India and other South and Southeast Asian countries. She was recently in Boston as a keynote speaker at 8 Boston's 25th anniversary gala, where she talked about the challenges of organic farming and farming in general and increasing farmer suicide in India especially. So we are going to talk to her about all these issues and also ask her what is her suggestion and how to stop this carnage. Revathi, welcome to our studio.
Thank you so much for providing me this wonderful opportunity.
Excellent.
Thank you.
So let's start right away. How did you get started in this issue of farming?
Okay. Basically, I lived many of my young age, the schooling, everything in the cities. So I get very less exposure and experience with farming. But I was basically connected to the environment from my childhood days onwards through birds. So basically, I am a bird watcher. So when I was affected by polio at the age of 6 months, I couldn't walk at the age of till the age of 4.5 years. So basically, I sit near the windows, watching birds and other things. They are very happy. They are the friends introduced me to the neighborhood environment. So from those days onwards.
At what age did you start watching birds?
Very young age. Because in the environment, everyone is busy. They have their own things. But for me, somebody should support for the mobility. So the birds, they know this and they took pity on me. They didn't get any fear. So they come closer to me. And by observing the birds slow by slow, I get attached to the nearby environment.
So
and
what is your
nature.
first memory of the birds? Like how old you were there at that time?
3 or 4 years.
Okay.
Before that itself, I understand, I repeat how they make sound and other thing. But I become a strong lover or more attached to birds.
And then from birds you get
birds,
to the farm.
I just this interest emerged in the early days of my life, continued throughout the life. So I became I continued as a bird watcher during the school days, and I joined in many eco clubs activities, part of nature trails, mountaineering clubs, and after my school days and college days over, I selected my career as a teacher. So I get connected with the many children. So the experience which I enjoyed, I want to share with everyone. So normally in every weekend we took the children to the places where more birds are there, forest areas, mountain areas like that. So this goes continuously, and I was very happy enjoying nature and other things. Being an environmentalist, I am involved with many other things like planting trees and nourishing gardens like that. All are small activities connected to nature. And our main role is educating children how everyone is important in nature. So our team consists of reptile specialist, anthropologist, ornithologist, like that, and we enjoyed the life. One day, I got an opportunity to get associated with an institute called SACON, Salim Ali Center for Ornithology and Natural History. That is one of the top 5 research institutes available in India. So during my time of association, there was a study going on in SACON about the increasing mortality rate of birds. Many of the birds are in the endangered list, and some of them completely extinct. It was very painful because if one bird is eliminated from the chain, immediately it will reflect on the next 40 species of that was connected to that bird. So big loss and irreparable loss.
Is there any data, like you can say that how many birds are being extinct over the years in India? Or
Many species. If I particular we the studies are very minimum, but we can say The numbers now people have the birds mostly. We think that they are more in number in forest, but birds are very attached to the human communities, and they want to live near the colonies of people. So the number reduced very much, and many of the things. For example, if you think about the common house sparrow,
yes, I remember. Goraya.
now it becomes a special one. Only very few. Like that, people have the feeling, and also the data is more. But for me, a bird lover, this thing really shocked me. So we were waited for the results to come. So it was a 3-year study. Finally, they announced it. The alpha endosulfone, beta endosulfone, and all the other hazardous chemicals enormously used in our farming fields is the main reason for the increasing mortality rate of birds.
So the fertilizer for the farming is responsible for bird instinct.
It is basically the pesticides and
yeah.
other chemicals.
That's what I mean.
That is weedicide, fungicide, like that. Because these poisons now, they affect the insects present in that ecosystem. So that for killing an insect, 2 ppm poison is enough. But for a bird, 10 or 15 insects or its ration, daily ration. So if it consumes 15 insects, then the level of poison increases in the metabolism of the bird. So it is enough to kill that, or it affects its metabolic system and causes cancer or any other thing, and this leads to the extinct of that bird finally. This is called bioaccumulation. So this residue remains there. It is carried out in the chain. So whomever is there, upper going forward, then the level of residues in your food and in your metabolic activity is more and more.
What about, so if it is having so much impact on birds, what about the human beings who are eating those grains?
Certainly, because we are in the top of the pyramid and we get food from various resources. Everything contains these residues. Many of the farmers, without knowing, are having very less knowledge about the impact of these chemicals. They are using excessive dosage of chemicals and mixing of chemicals. They don't know anything about the organochlorides or organophosphates, and mixing of these things leads into a heavy poison called endrin, and it remains in the environment even for 50 years. And this damage is really huge, and frequent applications, and because of their fear. You see, the line of control is the sensitive area we may come across between Kashmir and Pakistan. But we have a line of control inside the land. It is in the border. The line of control is the border between the two lands. If the other farmer, neighborhood farmer, is affected by an insect, immediately this farmer, he gets the fear and he rushes to the nearby store. There he gets the advice not from an entomologist but an ordinary shopkeeper. He suggests many applications, many of the market available sources, which company is going to give him more commission, and pseudo companies also available in the market, and 156 chemicals which are used most extensively in the Indian fields are mostly banned in other countries because of the reason they have carcinogenic effects. But without understanding all these things, people are very dependent on these pesticides because they collapse the ecosystem, the agro ecosystem. So they lost the beneficial insects because of the continuous applications. And day by day, year by year, the pest is developing an immune system by observing this itself. So the dosages and the applications keep on increasing.
What are the areas in India where this problem is more severe?
All the areas, wherever the rain-fed farmers, at least they have less dosages. But if you think about the farmers who are enjoying the irrigation facilities, there the usage is many folds because they have the availability of water. They put excessive dosage of chemicals, first fertilizers. If you keep on adding the fertilizer, it changes the color of the plant, and it is really the invitation for insects. So your plant becomes vulnerable. It consumes lot of water because all the fertilizers, they are salt based. So the water intake of the plant increased many folds. So plant becomes weak, and the pest, it is easy for the pest to target that vulnerable plant. So insects are increased in many number in the most areas where you have most advanced irrigation facilities.
So now my next question is that Punjab is the most advanced agricultural state in India, and I assume that there's a lot of fertilizer used in Punjab. How that state is, government is doing something, people are doing something there to stop the use of chemicals there in Punjab?
It's so sad that many of the places, not only Punjab uh, is one story. We have to please everybody. We have to think about it. Punjab is a very progressive state. The farmers are very hardworking, and they are blessed with many of the resources which are not available for the other farmers of the country, because a lot of water and good soil, everything. But this excessive usage of chemicals made the lands lost their fertility, and most of the lands they remain barren, and these adverse conditions made the lands more saline, and the saline lands weed diversity completely lost, and in the adverse conditions only adverse weeds are surviving. So because of all these things, the dosage of fertilizers, pesticides, chemicals, everything increased, because of the cost of cultivation goes up and up.
Okay.
So they are highly indebted.
So now let's talk a little bit about your role, that what you have been doing to stop this carnage in India and other South Asian countries.
So basically, being a bird watcher, I am very much attached to birds. No, when I came to know that birds are dying because of this chemical applications, I was really worried. So I reached the farmers why they are so much dependent on chemicals. This is what my question.
Mm-hmm.
So I interacted with the farming communities. At the time only I came to know many of the Indian farmers, they were unhappy about being a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
They thought that it is a curse on them. They are not at all thinking that it is a blessing given by nature, because they lost many of the traditional knowledge and traditional practices, traditional seeds. We have done for 10,000 years, it is agriculture. It is a lifestyle. But now what we are doing is agri-business. Our farmers doesn't know the rules of the game. So huge corporations, they are playing.
Do you have any organization or group through which you work and do promote your
Yeah, starting from this, we started supporting farmers to develop alternate methods and switch over their farming into sustainable practices. So for that we established a movement called Inspire. Yeah, it is working with farmers to develop indigenous, natural, sustainable, progressive initiatives.
And how old is this Inspire organization?
Formally it is registered at 2005.
Okay.
And so far we trained 1100,000 farmers in India, and we traveled to Indonesia and Sri Lanka during the tsunami land reclamation. We are the pioneers of saline land reclamation, and we did it in the organic way. So it impressed many of the countries and many of the leaders of the world, media also. So we were invited to other countries to support the farmers of those countries to get back their lands once again fertile.
So, and where does this aid organization comes into the play?
Oh, aid is my close associate from 2004. 2004 is the time we busily engaged in the tsunami land reclamations. That is the time we came to know about the great supporters, aid. Aid friends traveled with us wherever we go, whether it is cyclone prone, earthquake prone Indonesia, or war front Sri Lanka, or the saline affected Royal Bengal tigers habitat Sundarbans. They followed us like a shadow. They are the real friends, good associates. Both of us have the like mindset towards development.
And so they invited you to come to Boston to be their keynote speaker and chief guest.
Yeah.
So how was that experience talking to people here in Boston?
It was really awesome. The volunteers of Aid Boston chapter, they made a tremendous job. They are supporting the most vulnerable, uncared people of India in many ways. One way, they are associating with me for agriculture project, but they have many other projects, and they are really making very good changes in the lives of the people who really need the help from the external world. So they're very careful, and they have the clear vision, mission, and understanding of the ground issues. They are not attending the symptoms,
Sure.
but they want to really contribute for the sustainability of the people and how to make their livelihood more self-reliant.
So, what are the three things you will advise non-resident Indians, those Indians who are not living in India but they are living in US, Canada, Europe, outside India? What are the three things they can do to champion your cause?
Yeah, it will be great. So first of all, I want to convey one very important fact. At present, our farming is really struggling. The farming and food production in India. So really, per hour, 5 farmers are committing suicide because they couldn't
How often is
continue.
that?
It is very often. I mean, the last 10 years time, even in the war, you won't lose this many lives, but 4,80,000 farmers, they lost their valuable lives because of crop failures and the failures of seeds, false hopes, crushing policies, and because of
So,
the
I just
impact
want to
of
clarify the data number you gave me. So, 5 farmers per day,
per day, not
in-
per day, per hour.
per hour.
Yeah, this is the current situation, and that is where the organization like us are fighting to bring the confidence and self-estimation of the farmer. They don't have aspirations at all. Agriculture becomes economically unviable because of the increasing cost of production, and the corporations, huge corporations. Our Indian agriculture is hijacked, and it is the first victim for globalization. So our farmers are not anyway benefited by the subsidies. They are all negative subsidies. No program to support the farmer, and he is actually very much suffering because of the impact of global warming and climate change. So we are making farmers more confident, more self-esteem. We are saying that you are like, there is no social recognition for them. So we are just motivating them. You are also very educated. You are the knowledgeable person. You are more scientific than anyone. Even the children of farmers, they are not respecting their parents because they are not showing their prosperity. All the people in India, they want to send their children, or the children wants to go to their family business.
Sure.
Doctors, sons, doctors, politicians, no doubt actors,
So-
but only the farmers' daughters and sons, they don't want to do farming because no returns. So they don't have respect and recognition.
So, how the non-resident Indians can help? That's what my question.
That's what I want to say.
Okay.
Please, whenever you meet a farmer, just shake his hands. He is the one contributing for the nation. He is the one feeding the nation. Okay, now he needs the support, moral support, and the support by many of us to develop his confidence and to support for him to continue his livelihood. In many disasters, the farmers are the first victims, losing their lands. So if it is a flood, or if it is an earthquake, or if it is a drought, their lands is the one completely gone with them. And the real estate thing and all development, everything targets the lands of the farmers. And this is the only one thing they knows very well. They are very skillful placed. So often I say the farmers are really equal to a person having 32 MBAs. So if a person is getting an MBA, one specialization, finance management or market management, but think of the farmers, if they are very well matured and management skills with 32 aspects: water management, labor management, market management, disease management, pest management, soil management, many aspects, and only you can get a successful crop. So a farmer is more powerful, but the space is not there in the society. For 10,000 years, rich heritage, they developed more than 2 lakh varieties, our farmers. But at present, they need our support, moral support, and the support during the disasters, and you have to support them for their products too. That is one way you can support. And the second way, please, wherever you are there, this is our Mother Earth. Please grow fresh food.
Which
As
I
you
do.
did.
Yes.
I'm really surprised. You're a very good example,
Thank you.
motivation to
Thank
me
you.
even.
Thank you.
Even in a very big city, in the busy place, you're doing organic and having wonderful diversity of chilies.
Yes, sure.
It's very good.
We grow
So
chili
we
and
have to-
eggplant and Karela, like
See?
you cannot believe that how much Karela we have.
Wonderful, wonderful. So this is the one we must carry and sending it to our children. This is the real thing. This is the real thing you have to give as a gift to our children. They must have the first-hand experience with plants. We are part of the earth.
Okay, now my last question to you is
Please.
about environment. How all these things is impacting overall environment in India?
Definitely, because of this excessive application of all these chemicals, finally it washed out. It reaches the ocean, and the ocean life is completely collapsed. Backwater fishing completely collapsing, and all these poisons, where it will go? Soil becomes saline, and groundwater nitrated. So it causes lot of diseases. If you come to Kerala, Kasaragod area, the entire area was under cashew plantation. So every year, to control the insects, in the name of that problem, they applied enormous chemical dosages through helicopters. The helicopters, they travel in a distance to avoid the power transmitters. So they spray the poison in the air. So air and water poisoned, and it resulted in the gene mutation of children. So the children who are the new children, from the birth, they have very different issues. The head is like that, the fingers are split in like this, and they won't call you, and they won't speak, they won't recognize. This is the thing we resulted in. So environment pollution means even the frog, no, it comes with only one leg, and the cows with two heads.
Really?
Yeah, this is the irreversible gene mutation we have resulted in. In the name of food production, we thought that these are all scientific. No scientific. This is all market-driven technology. It wears the blanket of science. So now completely agriculture is converted into agribusiness. So only the corporates and companies are benefiting, whereas our farmers become indebted, and the pollution results in the degradation of our environment and ecology. So
Now-
loss of many species. I am starting with the birds, but whereas if you go to the field, honeybees are completely lost. You think of the earthworms. Where will they go if you put tons and tons of fertilizers?
Now, before I let you go, I just wanted to clarify that number one more time
Please.
for our audience. Is so you said that 5 farmers commit suicide every hour, not every day, in India.
Yes, it is true, and the result, the numbers, I may be wrong, because it may increase at any moment of the time, because the situation is so much pressurizing.
Yeah. Revathi, thank you very much for coming
Thank
to our
you,
studio. It
thank
was
you.
really pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so
And
much for
all the
being with
best
us
for your
and
effort.
caring for the Indian agriculture. Thank you so much for
Sure.
that.
You're welcome.
Please support
Sure,
farming.
absolutely, sure.